Over the next few days, Hieronymous started to come back to himself. He found swimming much easier than walking, and he seemed a lot happier and more confident when he was in the water. He still occasionally had trouble holding a spoon or a pen, but I was relieved that he was able to eat solid foods again. It had taken him a few tries, but he was finally able to keep down something more substantial than soup. "We should talk about our plans for the future," Hieronymous says from the bed, and I stop writing as I turn around to face him. I had finished writing letters to Minnie, Jacob, and Virginia, apologizing for my lack of correspondence and informing them that Hieronymous was awake. "Oh?" I ask as I turn around to face him. "You feel ready to start having this conversation?" "It's not one we can afford not to have," Hieronymous says with a sigh. "Every day we spend here, just spending time together, is one of the best days I'll ever have, but we are both neglecting our duties as Viscount and Viscountess, respectively, and we need to return to work. You need to return to school." "I don't want to go back there," I say as I shake my head. "I think it's already clear I'm not going to college. I don't need to get a high school diploma. Like, okay, yes, it would be good to say that I graduated high school, but I've been doing just fine without it so far. Plus, all of my friends already graduated, and I don't think Potsdam will just let me hang around the school for another 3 months." "You have gone above and beyond to save my life," Hieronymous says firmly. "While I was not there, I'm sure that your use of magic in the attempt proved that you already have the skill level of an Iris Academy graduate. I will talk to her. Hopefully, we can come to some agreement that will grant you your diploma without too much of a burden on our current demands." "Hopefully," I say with a sigh, because I want to make it clear right now that I am not going back to Iris Academy without you, Hieronymous. I am not spending one more night without you for as long as I can think of. I'd be too worried that something could happen to you again." "I'm glad the feeling is mutual," Hieronymous replies with a soft smile. "I am recovering. However, it will take me some time to fully heal from this. Having you here to aid me will greatly help in that regard." "I don't know what I can do, but I'll do anything you ask of me," I remind him. "I just don't think you're ready to get up and start working yet. That's all. You still have problems walking long distances, and you're still barely able to keep down solid food." "The weaknesses suffered by my physical body are not shared by my mind," Hieronymous insists. "I can still think clearly, Tori, and if I can think, I can work." I just stare at him. I wasn't entirely sure that his mind was back to normal, but he had seemed more in control of himself since he had woken up. I was able to take a shower by myself without him freaking out, and it was almost sad to say that I considered that to be massive progress. "I don't want to doubt your competence, but I'm still not sure," I say quietly. "True, nothing has set you off for the past few days, but that's because you haven't been really stressed out. Once you start becoming overwhelmed with work again..." "That's why I have you here," Hieronymous reminds me, "to make sure that I don't become too overwhelmed. I trust your judgment." "You say that right now," I continue, "but when you're in a mood and you don't want to listen to me, what do I do then? What can I say that will make you listen to me?" "I'm not sure," Hieronymous admits after a long moment has passed. "If you still have doubts about my mental competence, then we can continue to rest yet. Just know that the more work we put off now is more work we have to get to later, only with a stricter deadline." I close my eyes as I sigh. "Fine, you're right. You're right. I don't want to see anything happen to you, but as long as we're doing it together, and as long as we can work together as a team, we should be able to pull through this." Hieronymous smiles as he holds his hand out for me, and I can't help but grin as I rush into his lap, wrapping my arms around his neck as I kiss him. He kisses me back, running his hands up and down my sides. We sit like that for a while, just enjoying each other's company, before I suddenly realize that I had a letter. Should I get it? I ask, and Hieronymous nods. You've been neglecting your friends, and I know how important they are to you, he replies. Hopefully, they will not hold too much ill will towards you for neglecting your correspondence over the past few months. Hopefully, I reply. I look down at the letter and recognize Virginia's handwriting immediately. Tori. Jacob's fathers told us that Hieronymous had woken up, and we're happy for you, Tori. We are. But if he's ready to get back into action, we could really use your help right now. Minnie, Jacob, and I are in hiding. Potsdam is trying to expel us for entering the other world without permission, and since Aloysius is dead, we can't turn to him for help. Did you know that they were screwing? Apparently, Potsdam has been in a relationship with him for a while, and she is beside herself that he's dead. We think that, considering how long they've known each other, Hieronymous might be the only person to reason with her. Please tell me you have a plan. Virginia. Tori? Tori, what's wrong? Hieronymous asks, but I just shake my head as I read the letter a second, third, and fourth time. Tori, I know that look. What's happened? Potsdam is trying to expel Minnie, Jacob, and Virginia for entering the other world, I explain. They're in hiding right now. That's ridiculous, Hieronymous scoffs. Those children come from prominent magical families. Potsdam would never be stupid enough to try to expel them from the community. The backlash against her would be enough to force her removal. Aloysius told me once before that her mind isn't what it used to be, I offer. And apparently she's upset because she and Aloysius were in a relationship for a while. Did you know about that? I didn't know about that. Hieronymous blinks and shakes his head. I had absolutely no idea, he says, his sincerity shining through his voice. But that does not put us in a favorable position right now. Or you, Tori. Did they say if she is targeting you as well? She did not, I say as I look over the letter once again. But then again, I did make her vow not to expel me. She can't expel me without breaking her vow. That might be powerful leverage to use against her now, Hieronymous says with a sigh. I will arrange a meeting with Potsdam to see if I can sort through this matter and lead to a favorable outcome for us all. No way, I say immediately. No way, Hieronymous. You are not going alone. For all we know, this can be some kind of trap. If you're going, I'm going with you, and there is literally no way you're going to stop me. Hieronymous just sighs as he shakes his head. I know you want to protect your friends, Tori, but I've already lost you once. What do you think would happen to me if I lost you again? Do you really think I'd be able to take it? I hesitate for a moment before I shake my head. No, but do you think I'd be able to take it if something happened to you? Hieronymous is silent for a long moment as he stares me down before he seems to come to a decision about something. You're right, he agrees. You're right. We're a team. We're stronger together. I did not expect him to give in to me so easily. We need to come up with a plan, I tell him. You always taught me knowledge is power, and right now we have very little of that to go on. I'll write back to Virginia and see if I can arrange for us all to meet up. Figuring out what happened when they got back will help us figure out how to deal with Potsdam. That's my clever girl, Hieronymous says as he smiles fondly in my direction. See it done.